We are continuing on with the Radical Japan set with number 146 in the Radiance range, which is The Man Who Left His Will on Film. Again, it's a little bit of an experimental Oshima film. I think I kind of like this one, but it's one that's, I don't fully know if that's how I feel, and I like that aspect of it. There is something kind of interesting about coming away from a film going, did I like it? Did I not? You start to deliberate the points of it. What did I like? What did I not like? But this one starts off really strong. It's about a young activist who apparently commits suicide by throwing himself off a building, and his comrades kind of grab the camera and run away at the start. They try to decipher this will or his last moments through what he has recorded, and they kind of descend into paranoia, repetition, ideological paralysis. All these things come out, and it's just such a wonderful idea. Now, it's not so much really about the story. It's about how people are dealing with grief, how they are dealing with the shock of what's happened, how they try to understand and put meaning onto things that may be meaningless. But it's all tackled in a wonderful kinetic nature that is an assault on the senses of sorts. You're watching these characters and it can be banal back and forth conversation, but there's something in the way that they're composed within the scene. It could be something that's repetitive, that's happening over and over again, that changes ever so slightly and gives it meaning. Or is it just a slight change that's just disorientating? There's never hard and fast points proven here. It's all how you infer the information. It's all how you look at things and understand what's going on.
そしてあいつはビルの屋上から飛び降りたんだ。その時お前は何したんだ。恋人が自殺したんだぞ。
I really like that idea about this one as well, and it really does feel like a kind of somewhere in between Death by Hanging and Diary of a Shinjuku Thief. Now, if you've watched these reviews, you know that we've got one there that I absolutely adored, and I think it's going to be the best of the set, Death by Hanging, and one that I'm going to look at as the worst of the set, Diary of a Shinjuku Thief, which I really didn't like. And this finding somewhere in between kind of lets me go like, yeah, I understand why I love some of it and I hate other parts of it. And that's, I'm leaning towards this is one of the better Oshima films. I think for me, a lot of what I love about it is the filmmaking, the abrupt editing, the fractured narrative logic, the cyclical nature of everything that's going on here. It prevents comfort. It disorientates. It's off-screen space and sound that really affects what's happening on screen, and that the payoff I kind of like. Do I understand it? I don't think I do, but it's interesting.
Yasuko! どうしたんだ。
あいつ。
ちくしょう。
There's something deeply disorientating about this work, how it can take something like the urban spaces and make them feel hostile or anonymous or labyrinthine, circular, how people just get caught in loops. There's a moment where two of our characters are trying to decipher a path of where the camera travelled, and it's almost indecipherable. The way it looks at the camera as a kind of weapon and a trap. It can show evidence of things, but that is only by a perspective and skewed at that. And how being stuck within this film, within the camera, stops you from seeing the bigger picture of everything that's going on. Now, there's a lot more thematics in amongst it, some of which I get, some of which I don't. But for me, it was just the creative element of this one that I really enjoyed the unusual tale that it tells, and the disassociative characters that populate this film. It was just all strange and unusual. Like I say, I'm not sure if I loved it or hated it. It's somewhere in the middle. It's a weird dichotomy that I kind of like that as a film fan. Let's dive into the disc and have a look at the extras. Here we are in the disc for The Man Who Left His Will on Film. Let's go to the special features. First up, we have Kazuo Goto. The lead actor recalls the film's origins in the amateur short he made with school friends, how he came to be cast in the lead role, and how he experienced working with Oshima. Filmed exclusively for Radiance in July 2025. And it runs for 19 minutes, 54 seconds. I really enjoyed this because his passion for when they were coming out of film school, when they were idealistic, when they had so much energy and passion and wanted to do something that was going to shake the fabric, so to speak. It's that kind of passion that even now comes really across in this talking head. Next, we have After the Tokyo War. In this visual essay, film scholar Julian Ross unpacks the complex network of influences on The Man Who Left His Will on Film via the various versions of its title, created exclusively for Radiance in August 2025, and it runs for 16 minutes 51 seconds. Again, this looks at the sort of legacy of this film, the kind of movement that it started, its influences that it had, and how it kind of created its own way, fueled by the enthusiastic nature of its cast and crew who knew they were creating something just a little bit different. Next, we have Junichi Konuma. Toru Takamitsu's biographer discusses the famed composer's career and his collaborations with Nagisa Oshima, filmed exclusively for Radiance in June 2025 and runs for 22 minutes 24 seconds. And I like this because it's almost like a biography of this character, this person, how he kind of was looking for money, how he fell into film composer, how he diversified what he was working on, and how his relationship with Oshima. That's the extras for The Man Who Left His Will on Film. There we have it. The next film on the Radical Japan set, The Man Who Left His Will on Film, is another interesting one. We've got 2 more features to go, and I'm curious to see what kind of Oshima I'm going to get in those. I'd love to know your thoughts on this film. So let me know in the comment box below whether you love it, hate it, or feel somewhere in the middle. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box below are links to Patreon, membership program, and manvfilm.com, always in which you can support me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.